My name is Stormy Walker. I was little. My story begins when my mom and dad had gotten divorced and my mom and my 3 younger siblings moved to Bloomington. We had gotten put in the women's shelter here in Bloomington, and after living there for a while, they helped my mom get an apartment, and that's when we moved into Henderson Court, and we had moved schools and went to Templeton. And after being there for a while, I learned about the program, Big Brothers Big Sisters, and they put me in the program, and I got a big. Her name is Erin. When I got Erin, I was around 12, and meeting her, I was kind of scared because I didn't know what she would think about me, or I didn't know, like, if I was going to be the right fit, or, you know, if I was, like, good enough to even have a big sister. And after a few days, I felt so comfortable with her, and she was literally like my big sister. And we went on walks, we went to the park together. She talked to me about everything. I knew that I could tell her anything and everything. And she bought me things for Christmas and Christmas at home was nothing. We didn't get anything for Christmas. We didn't get anything for our birthdays. We didn't do anything for Halloween or anything like that. And being with Erin, I could do all of those things. She took me to her sorority room and we hung out, and she was just there for me. And I knew that I could talk to her about everything. And if I had a phone at the time, I knew that I could call her and tell her I was in a situation, and then I knew that she would come and get me. My home life at home when I had a big, when Erin was my big, was very hectic. There was men coming in and out of my house all the time, and I took care of my siblings. I got them on the school bus. I fed them with what we had. As being a 12-year-old, I would get up and get on the transit bus and go down to the food pantries and bring home food all the time. And the night that Erin had dropped me off, there was cops surrounded my house because they had busted our house because there was drugs, and a guy had actually died in my house. And I felt so embarrassed because sometimes I didn't want people to know. I wanted people to think that my life was so perfect, and I wanted them to think that, you know, that my mom was a good person, basically. But really, I was the one doing everything I was the one taking care of my siblings. She wasn't. She slept with our landlord for money so she couldn't have to pay rent. And when she had money, she would buy drugs. And we were actually on welfare, and we had food stamps. And every month that we'd get money for food stamps, she would take our food stamps and she would go and give them to a drug dealer. And they would make a deal, like, if you give me $100 worth of your food stamps, then I will give you this amount of drugs. And so we never ended up using our food stamps. I always had to go to the food pantry and get food. Erin wasn't the type of person that, like, she knew some of what was going on at my house, but she never mentioned it to me. She never pressured me to talk about it. And I think that's what made me so close to her, because sometimes I was just done talking about it. I didn't, like, that day, every day was not a good day, and I knew that. But being with Erin just kind of took all of that away from me. And I felt like a kid being with Erin. I knew that when I was with Erin, I didn't feel like I had to act like the bigger person, or, you know, like, I didn't have to talk to her about what was going on, and she didn't ask. Like, she knew that it was bad, but she didn't ask. And that's why I was so close to her, because I could tell her everything, but it didn't always have to be about what was going on at the home, or, like, you know, she would ask me how my day was going, and she would help me with my homework. And that's part of the reason why I had actually, you know, graduated from each grade, was because she had helped me with my homework. Because if not, no one would have helped me. The last night that I seen Erin, me and my siblings all got put in different cop cars, and we all got taken to a DCS office, actually. And that's where we all got put in different rooms, and they had talked to us about like what was going on at home and everything. And then we all got together and they told us that we were getting moved into our bio grandfather's home because that's the only home that would take all 4 of us. And I lived there for about 3 to 4 years, and I was being abused, and he locked me in my room and took me out of school and literally told me that I wasn't part of his family. And I can't.
if you know anything you want to pass over,
we went to court, and he told me that he didn't no longer want me to be his family. And I got put in foster home. I got put in a foster home. I can't. I'm sorry. I got put in a foster home, and it was actually a pretty good foster home. They put me back into school, and after a while, they had my stuff all sitting on the front porch and said they just couldn't do it. So then that's when I got put in a different foster home. And the actual foster mom didn't like me. There was just some things going on at home, and there was just some of their own problems. So then I went to a respite home, and the respite home said they would take me, and they actually even told me they would adopt me, but they had just retired and they were a lot older. And you know, I loved living there, and they were really nice people. And I told them that it was okay if they didn't adopt me, but I thanked them a lot for letting me stay there. And then that's when I was just ready to have a forever home. Someone that I knew that would not, someone that I could call my mom. And that's when I talked to my case manager and I told her that I would really like a forever home. And that's when she found Melanie, my mom. And I moved in with her, and she just taught me everything and that I know now. And she's been there for me. While living with her, I recently found out that my little brother has cancer, brain cancer. And she knows that I was very, very upset about it, so she called my grandpa, and she had asked him if I could see him, and he said that I wasn't their family, so there's no way I can see him. And then I had told a little bit of my story to someone at a gala that I didn't even know, and come to find out, he was very interested in my story, and he asked me to put it in Blue magazine, and now my story's out there. I think that all of the organizations that I was dealt with or in as a younger girl has helped me grow and be the person that I am today. Like, if I probably wasn't in Big Brothers Big Sisters, and if I didn't have Aaron, and if I didn't have Boys and Girls Club, and if it even wasn't for the women's shelter, I probably wouldn't be who I am today. And I think it's because I had Jeff Baldwin, and I had my big Aaron, and I just had those people that I could go to and talk to. And honestly, after I left, every day I thought about my big, and I thought about Jeff. And that's because I knew that that's the only people that I can talk to and that understood me and cared about me. And I would say that we do need more big brothers and big sisters for these kids, because it honestly is a big impact on them. And they need that, because like for me, I didn't have anybody to talk to, and I didn't have anybody to go to when I could. And I loved my big so much. It was so much fun. And if I could relay a message to Erin, it would be that I miss her, and I thank her for everything she's done for me.